I was never a big multiplayer gamer. For me, video games were a solitary experience, to be spoken of with your friends at school the next day. In fact, until the Nintendo 64 came along, the only multiplayer gaming I'd ever really done was on the Super Nintendo my parents had bought for my sister and I, even though I was the one that monopolised it most of the time. I'd been to a few small LAN parties and really enjoyed playing with other people that were in the same room, but I missed that human interaction when I tried online gaming. Plus, my home internet was really crap. That didn't stop me from enjoying the original Battlefront game. I loved the maps and the way different units performed different roles, and when Battlefront 2 was released in 2005, it took a good game and made it great. I feel I missed out with the Battlefront series by not playing the multiplayer, so I'm really looking forward to revisiting the original Battlefront 2 in this episode of Star Wars Playtime. It's an interesting experience playing a game designed almost purely for multiplayer as a single player. The first Battlefront single player was just sort of the multiplayer with bots. And then Battlefront came out and actually had a decent single player campaign with a few extra features added in here and there. Regardless of missing the multiplayer on my many playthroughs of Battlefront 2, I still really enjoyed the game. The campaign lets you play first as clone troopers and then as stormtroopers in some of the major battles throughout Star Wars history, from the Battle of Geonosis at the end of Attack of the Clones right through to the Battle of Hoth at the beginning of Empire Strikes Back. While I still have my original copy of Battlefront 2, I wanted to experience the multiplayer, so I bought a copy from Steam. It still did have some resolution issues though, like with Empire at War in the last episode of Star Wars Playtime. I'm beginning to think that this is just a problem with older games though. They're not meant for multiple monitor setups or even to be played in windowed mode. But if you fiddle with the settings a bit, you can get it to run and it plays like a charm. Let's get into the game. The single-player campaign of Battlefront 2 starts at the Battle of Geonosis at the end of Attack of the Clones and ends at the Battle of Hoth at the beginning of Empire Strikes Back, taking you through some additional battles, such as supporting Darth Vader in the attack on the Jedi Temple, fighting off a rebel incursion on the first Death Star, and mopping up a group of rebels as they evacuate their base on Yavin 4. Where the first Battlefront single-player campaign was just a list of planets where you had to kill all the enemy units or capture all the command posts, Battlefront 2 has various objectives to complete, while also having a limited unit count that can be depleted and cause you to fail the mission if it reaches 0. There are 4 factions: Republic, Separatists, Empire and Rebels. Each faction has units for infantry, heavies, snipers and engineering. Infantry is your basic soldier unit designed for running into battle head first with guns blazing. Heavies come with a rocket launcher and are great against vehicles. Snipers are good on larger maps with a good line of sight. And engineers can repair health and ammo droids while also being able to drop health and ammo for other players in the field. Each faction also comes with 2 specialist units. These differ for each faction and are unlocked during matches when you score enough points. You only have a few of these units on the map at any one time. You can also unlock hero units when you've earned enough points. These are powerful units like Jedi and Sith that also include characters like Han, Leia and Boba Fett, with which a skilled player can annihilate the opposing team. Only one of these can be active at any one time. A new addition to Battlefront 2 is the space battles. For these you have access to a pilot and a marine of sorts, the former being adept at piloting and the latter for boarding capital ships to take them down from the inside. I don't want to talk about the single player too much. It's all good fun, but that's not what Battlefront 2 is about. I want to get stuck into the multiplayer. Back in the day, the original Battlefront 2 multiplayer was hosted by GameSpy. Unfortunately, those servers were shut down in 2014. Services like Game Ranger existed to help continue multiplayer support, but it was hard to use and required a lot of tweaks. That's the way it was until October 2017, when GOG announced it was bringing back multiplayer for PC gamers, and that it would be crossplay between GOG and Steam without the need for complex settings. I got together with a couple of legends from the Game on Oz community, Eriond and Captain Avari, to play with me on stream, and even had a couple of viewers jump in too. I thought it was fun playing these maps against bots. The multiplayer battles are amazing. I had so much fun jumping in. I also love the size of the teams. This game has the capability of 32 versus 32 battles, an incredible feat for the time. And if you didn't have 64 players ready to go, the rest of the teams would be filled in by bots. There's a range of different multiplayer modes. In Conquest, you can either eliminate all the enemies or capture all the command posts scattered around the map to win. Hunt mode is a battle between clones or stormtroopers and the native population of a planet. I played on Endor with Ewoks and Geonosis with Geonosians. To keep things even, the only unit that the Republic/Empire has access to is the Sniper. Battlefront 2 has a hero assault mode where both teams are comprised of hero units for your factions and battle for supremacy. There are also two different capture the flag modes. One CTF is where factions fight over one flag in the middle of the map and try to get it to their base, while 2 CTF is the more traditional capture the flag mode, where each team has their own flag to defend and the opposition will attack to bring your flag back to their base. The last multiplayer mode I want to talk about is Space Assault. The objective here is to either defeat all the enemy units or take out critical systems on the opposing team's capital ship. The thing I like most about this mode is how you can go about it. You can take to a starfighter and destroy the ship's systems from the outside, or you can land in the enemy hangar and take them out from the inside. All these modes were so much fun to play, and it was great to have an amazing group of people to play them with. We did find that each of us would randomly disconnect from the game every now and then, independent of each other. The other two would still be playing and you could still see the third just standing there in the match, but they had disconnected and couldn't reconnect. We'd all have to jump out and restart the match to get them back in. A mode I've always loved is Galactic Conquest. It can take a while to get through these matches, but they are so much fun and so many tactics that you can employ here. When you first start this mode, you're presented with a galactic map. You'll be in control of a couple of planets and a fleet. You'll only start with one unit unlocked, the infantry unit, and you'll move your fleet around the map to capture planets. Capturing planets is important as they generate credits for you, which you can use to unlock other classes, as well as buying more fleets or one-time consumables such as auto health regen, bonus reinforcements, or turrets on your command posts. When you come across a planet controlled by the enemy, you enter into a ground battle. Whoever won kept or gained control of the planet, and the credit bonuses associated with it. If two fleets came across each other, a space battle would ensue. This time though, if you lost your fleet and the ability to capture other planets. It is a very tactical mode. Would you unlock other units first to gain an advantage in battle? Or maybe you'd like multiple fleets for that extra safety. Or maybe you're happy with one fleet and one type of unit and sink all your credits into buying consumables. This mode can be fairly long, but it added another dimension to the game, and it was this mode that I was very excited to try out in multiplayer. Unfortunately, I was to be disappointed. Galactic Conquest isn't even an online multiplayer option. It was local co-op or competitive mode for the PS2 and Xbox back in the day, but it's never been multiplayer on the PC. Still, the game only cost me $15 from Steam, and as recently as the Christmas 2020 sales, it was going for $5. It's also available through the Xbox store for $15, but keep in mind that the original Xbox Live servers that this game used don't exist anymore, so you'd be buying it for local multiplayer, and of course that's split-screen Galactic Conquest, and single player only. Plus the system link function still works for the Xbox Series family, so you could link a heap of Series X/S's together and play there. The original Battlefront 2 is still a fun game. Whether you're in it for the single player campaign or the multiplayer, you're gonna get your money's worth. While I'm disappointed that there's not an online multiplayer mode for Galactic Conquest, it doesn't take away from how fun the rest of the modes are. Hunt is especially hilarious. If you're like me and you played the single player to death, there's still plenty of other maps around that you can get that aren't in the campaign, like Endor, Mos Eisley and Jabba's Palace. The space battles bring a breath of fresh air to the series, and while there's some issues with the AI, it's still good. With all that in mind, I give Battlefront 2 2005 my Star Wars playtime rating of 1 more pass. Hi guys, so if you normally watch my videos, you know this is where I put like some funny stuff I've found while playing the game, or even just some interesting things that I've come across in there. But today I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching my videos. Really appreciate it, and I've loved going back and playing most of these games. Some of them haven't been quite so good, but for the most part I've really loved going back and revisiting them. I do want to know though, is there any game you'd like to see me play in the future? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see what other content I've got in the future. I've got some good plans coming up, so in not April, not May, it'll be June. June will be the 1 year anniversary of me doing these videos, so I've got a big game that I've got lined up for that I want to do a nice big coverage of. And then later this year, I'll actually want to go back and do like a retrospective type thing on the Old Republic Star Wars MMO, because it's its 10th anniversary come November. So I'm very keen to get something done on that, which I'm already starting to plan. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you stick around. Bye.